Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Tom Stewart here. I'm with Rose Trotter. This is Smart Business Moves.
Hey, y'all.
It's Thursday.
Last day of the week for us for Smart Business Moves Week.
That's right. 4-day work week.
Yep. You wish. That's funny. 4-day work week.
Take the next 3 days off.
Yeah, that's the plan, Tom.
One day.
It's amusing. You're never going to do that. I don't know who you're kidding. What are you talking about?
There are people, though. I mean, I know you know people that can tell you to the day how many days they have until they're going to retire.
That is true. Do they do that in this industry too? I guess they do. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Or at least, I know a lot of people that, aspire to get their business to the point where they can sell it and then not have to do anything.
I remember when Allison Palmer retired. So yeah, they do that in this industry. I'm trying to think of somebody. There's another guy too. What's his name? Steve. Up in Canada. Is his name Steve? I remember when he did. Hey guys. Hey Denise, Linda, Heather.
Heather, what about the KPIs and profit? Heck yeah.
Heather, that's what we've been talking about for over a month. Today is.
Where you been, girl?
I think today is the last day of reducing.
Yeah, we're done with profit. No more profit for the rest of the year. Missed it.
Hey, Andrew.
Just kidding. We got a lot of profit yet to go. We'll be profit all year long.
Yeah, we'll be talking profit for a while. Yeah, absolutely. What? Hey, Sarah. Oh, everybody's got their faces on today, too. Yeah, everybody's here early. Hey. Anything else going on? I heard somebody was talking in one of the groups today, Tom, about being told to return her or pay off her idol if she paid by today. Anybody know? Heather, Sarah, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. That if she paid it off today, she wouldn't have to pay something. And so she was talking about paying it off today, returning it.
So it would reduce whatever charges or interest fees or whatever she paid.
Yeah, there's something good that was going to happen for her today. I can't remember what it is. Kind of wish I hadn't brought it up. Like,
right. But what is it, like a 3.5% interest rate for 30 years?
Yeah.
There's a day coming, and I mean, we've been thinking it's been coming for a while, but I guarantee you it's going to be, between now and the next 30 years, 3.5% interest is going to look like awful attractive.
It's going to look like gold. It's going to look like somebody's raining money down on us. Yeah. But I did hear that just because you return the money doesn't mean it's not available to you anymore. So
really?
Yeah, that it will still be available to you. I'm not sure that interest rate is going to be available to you, but the funds are still available to you. So I don't know how long
for some period of time, I guess.
Right. I don't know how long it's going to last, Ram. I'm not thinking it's going to last 30 years at 3.5.
It's kind of like a credit line.
Maybe.
You don't pull it, but banks will give you credit lines, but they don't like if you don't use the credit line because they don't make any money. So if you don't use it, then typically they tend to not want to keep giving it to you.
How does it hurt them if you're not using it, though?
Well, it doesn't hurt them, but it doesn't help them. They'd rather give that credit line to somebody who's actually going to borrow the money so they can make some interest.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I get that. Yeah. Hey, Pam. You're going to be younger than me, Pam.
Really?
I know. I was like, I can't even believe they're giving me this money. Do they not look at how old people are? What the heck? Yeah. Awesome, right? All right. I just hope that doesn't mean that there's going to be this. Well, I guess I don't care if there is going to be some big debt that people are going to have to pay off when I die. I don't care. That's their problem, not mine. I'll be gone.
Well, do we want to get the show started here?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh yeah,
rolling.
Well, I know that has been just chomping at the bit to return that money. It's been driving her crazy having it. Oh, I'm already on it.
Are platform here made a change. Don't
Oh,
worry, I figured it out, but I clicked on the button. It did something different than what it's been doing every day since last March. But that's okay. I can adapt.
good job, Tom. Good job.
It's like I did it. I had to do it a couple of times. I was like, what's that? All right, we're all good.
Bounce. But
We're all good. It
good
says
job.
it'll let me show a video if I want to. I got to play with that. Don't have a video today, though. Um, okay, red numbers, green numbers, and it's all about making profit. I'm going to go back here and just revisit this for a second. For every dollar that comes in, part of it goes to cover variable cost, your cost of goods sold, and the other part of it is what they call gross profit. And the gross profit will next go to cover your operating expenses, which are typically fixed. And once those are paid, then everything that's left over is profit. This is kind of what it looks like on your P&L. So the whole idea behind this is try to get this cost of goods sold down as a percent to revenue as low as you can, which means more money's flowing down to cover your operating expenses and eventually trickling down to net profit. We all got that, right?
Yep.
So
I think everybody has this at this point. Anybody not have that? Anybody want to go over that again? I think we're good though, Tom. If somebody says something, we can.
we've got our green numbers and our red numbers. If you want to improve profit, you make your green numbers go up and your red numbers go down. And that's kind of, common sense. So we could get more revenue for every home we cleaned. We're going to be more profitable if we're able to quote more jobs, and if we're able to close more of those jobs that we quote and so forth. All these green numbers, the bigger, the better. All these red numbers, the lower, the better. And for the last few weeks, we've been talking about just one number out of all of these, which is the loaded direct payroll to revenue. Because it's really important, because that's really this number here, this cost of goods sold. For all practical purposes, it's that number. And that loaded direct payroll to revenue is this percentage here. So you want that number to be as low as you can get it and still provide the quality and meet the scope of work and do the things that you promise your customers you're going to be doing, and you promise your cleaning professionals, your employees, what you're going to do too. So I mean, it's at some point you get so low that you start breaking commitments and expectations that you're setting with your other stakeholders, and you don't want to do that. But we've been showing you a bunch of tools here over the last few weeks on how to meet all those expectations and still lower that number. And we are all the way over here on efficiency.
Yep.
And
Just real quick, Tom, because over half the people on today, or at least that are showing for me, are in the MMA groups. I just wanted to let you guys know this LDPR, this is the same thing as PPR that we reference all the time. All right. Oh, hey, Bridget. And my cat. Listen to her scream at me.
it's okay, Molly. It's good.
Did Molly hear her?
She heard her like collar jingle. Like she looked out. What the heck was that?
I see that cat. All right. All right. So we're talking efficiency today. Yay.
We're kind of wrapping it up. We're almost out of the loaded direct payroll part of that ratio, and we're going to start getting into how to make the revenue number go up here before the day's out. That's our goal.
Cool.
So we talked yesterday about what efficiency is and how it was. Come on. How it was the actual time that you're in jobs divided by the total time that people are on the clock, which is the job time, but it also includes, drive time, meeting time, things like that as well.
Tom, I have to tell you, the most interesting thing about the presentation yesterday was that there are 3 different types of efficiency. So I found that really interesting because I hadn't thought of that before. I'm like, oh, I love that. Yeah, I love this. I'm not sure that a lot of people have thought. I'm sure that everybody has experienced them all and dealt with all of them, but I'm not sure that Or maybe they have. Maybe I'm the only one that was like, oh my gosh, yeah, there's 3 types of efficiency that we really need to be measuring and paying attention to, and thinking of them all together kind of at the same time, along with productivity, is a much more effective way of making more money.
Yeah, we are. This is Made Central stuff, I guess. We currently have been doing this company efficiency for a long time. The team efficiency and the schedule efficiency, we're building that out. So that's not even a platform today. But all 3 of those are important for different reasons. Company efficiency is the actual job hour divided by the actual clock hour, and you need that to like dial in your pay plans. Did we I think we shared these calculators.
Yep, day before yesterday.
For instance, if you want to pay job ticket hour, and job ticket hour is the same thing as paying a larger hourly rate for the allowed hours in a job. What you need to do is know what is your target hourly rate for the time that your technicians are on the clock. So that is getting back to this over here. That's the entire day, not just the time that they're on jobs, but also their drive time. What is it that you want them to be making per hour? And if you know what you're
Can you go back to where you show how much you have to be charging to determine what your target hourly rate is? Or are you going to do that next? Because somebody just asked about that again today.
how much you have to be charging? Are you talking about if you're doing commission?
Yeah. So if you want to pay $15 an hour, what do you need to be charging the customer?
Right. If you want to back into that, and I guess it would be, if you're paying commission, it would be these 3 numbers here that you need to decide upon. If you're want to be paying $15 an hour, for instance, and if your average bill rate is $50 per labor hour, if your efficiency is 75%, then your commission rate would be 40%. If you're like a solo, or if you got 2 people, on the average, it would be, 20% per technician, but still an aggregate for the team, it would be 40%.
So let me tell you what the question was to me today, and you can help me figure out how I could have answered this better maybe. He charges $43 per hour, and he wants to pay $15 for his target hourly pay. Like, he wanted to know, is that right? Can I do that? Is that the right amount?
Is he paying commission?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he pays 40%, and he earns 43. So he's like, and I want to pay 15. So what do I need to charge, Liz?
If he's paying 40% and he wants them to make $15 an hour with an average bill rate of $43 per labor hour, he needs to get his efficiency up. Let me do this. To almost 90%.
That's not really very sustainable.
It depends on his model. If you have a solo model where people show up at the first house, and no,
teams of 2.
It's going to be hard to do with the 2-person team.
Yeah. So there is no real way. I thought I could have sworn we had a formula that we did day before yesterday where you could punch in how much your revenue is per hour how much your target hourly pay rate is and your average efficiency factor, and it would tell you what you need to charge per job. No? We didn't have something like that?
Maybe. I mean, we had the other sandbox spreadsheet. We could take that out and look at it. But if he's paying, if he wants to have this is just gross payroll, by the way, not loaded payroll.
Right.
A gross payroll of 40% to revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And if his average bill rate's 43%, he needs to get an efficiency factor of 88, which probably isn't practical. Maybe he could get it to say 80, in which case he's got to get this bill rate up to, something closer to $47 an hour, let's say.
At 47.75. Oh yeah, 47. There we go.
So the answer to the question is he has to charge more.
He either has to charge more, or he has to get his efficiency up, or he has to pay less to be able to meet that 40% and make everything. Okay, this is good. I will give him this little thing to play with. Actually, no, I won't. Weren't you gonna post it? Did you post it somewhere?
Well, let's get done with this because we're going to be making changes, and I didn't want to post it every day.
Okay, I remember now.
I get exhausted posting stuff every day. It's just too much, Liz.
Too much. I'm sorry to make you work so hard, Tom.
It is. I'm looking for the other spreadsheet. Where did it go? Here we go. This was the other one that we were working from. Is this what you were referring to?
I don't think so, but
yeah, this didn't really have
this isn't going to do what I want it to do, but we were going to post this too when we're all done. But I don't want to go over everything again because it's just going to take up time, and I do want to make sure we get through what we want to get through today.
But it sounds like it's an interesting question you're asking. Maybe we can talk a little bit more, and we'll see what we can build to be more of a direct calculator for that, rather than having to do what they call what if analysis or sensitivity analysis, just plugging in different numbers to get.
I don't think he'll mind the what if analysis. So, he's in Made Central. He'll like this. But
the point is that the higher your efficiency factor, all things else being equal, the lower your commission rate can be and still pay a competitive wage if you're doing commission. Or on job ticket hour, it's really even easier. All you do is just divide whatever your target is by your efficiency factor, and it gives you the hourly rate that you charge for against the allowed time. So if you had a efficiency factor of, say, phooey.
If he goes to the cleaning business today, Tom, he can just search for this performance pay rate calculator, can't he?
This isn't in cleaning business today. I built this for Amar for his Maid Service Success Summit.
Gotcha.
And we never even
calculators. So I
haven't done a KPI video in like forever. I was like a young guy when we were doing those. That was a different era.
Different Tom right there.
Different deal. But we could do one with this. Actually, I guess I did for Amar, but it's kind of long. It's like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were going to put it into our Facebook group, weren't you?
I was going to put this on. I was going to upload this in.
I know you're going to put this in our resources. Yeah.
Yeah. I can put it wherever we want. Don't even
I do what I want.
Oh yeah. Okay. So check this out. If I got an efficiency factor of like 70%, I have to pay $21.43 an hour to get an equivalent, pay per clock hour of $15.
Yeah.
But if I can get this up to 8, I can drop that down to like $18.75. I mean, that's material.
Much different. Yeah. Hey, Leslie.
Hey, Leslie, how are you today? She had a birthday last week. You missed it, Liz.
I hit her up on Facebook. You might remember I'm the one that told you.
You did. You were.
It's Leslie.
I was supposed to scrounge up on those little pointy birthday hats, and I dropped the ball.
I was like, Tom, you got a hat? Put on a birthday hat for Leslie. It's her birthday.
She's got a hat, and I'm an idiot. I go, what type of hat do I need?
I had to get a Google picture and send it over to him. 60. See, it was the big 6. Oh, Tom, that's why we needed a hat. Congratulations, Leslie. Yeah, that was when you were here with Matt on Thursday.
Whose name rhymes with crickets.
Yes.
I got to tell you, I got a Vox from him today. They actually figured out how many employee retention tax credits he was going to be getting, and it was an insane amount.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We'll have to get him back on here sometime so he can talk about that.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, since he's paying 10%, they're going to make.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little bit. It comes out every time he talks about it too. He's like laments over that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still get 90% though.
90% is still good. All right. So what are we talking about now?
Let's talk about scheduling production planning.
Okay.
How can that affect efficiency? I mean, we all do our scheduling, right? Mm-hmm. Whether you do it with a desk calendar or some production management software, there's a ton of them out there. You're all doing your scheduling. So if efficiency is taking the entire bar, the blue, or taking all these yellow bars and dividing them by the yellow and blue bars together, if you want to increase your efficiency, basically you want to make the blue part be as small as you can, right? From a scheduling standpoint.
Yep.
So you want to be thinking about drive time and how do you reduce drive time from a scheduling standpoint. It's not all drive time. We talked about a lot of different things yesterday, from making sure your cars are maintained so you aren't getting flat tires. And truly, there was a time when we wouldn't change a tire as soon as maybe we should. Now we can get a few more miles out of it, but we figured out that, tires that have some miles on them tend to go flat more quickly. And it's like, you know what, let's just go ahead and keep, tires with plenty of tread on them, because that's one thing that we don't have to worry about, is having a flat tire and having to roll jobs because it can't get people to a job because their car's on the side of the road waiting for somebody to come change a tire for them.
I have to tell you, Tom, until I met you, that was a completely new concept for me. I never thought to change a tire before it went flat, or I took it in somewhere and they said, "Oh, what's up with these tires?" I was like, "Oh, is it time to change them? All right, let's change them." I didn't know that people changed their tires before there was a problem. Just that never occurred to me.
And it's not a guarantee. I mean, you can still run over nails, something like that. But truly, if you change your tires before they get down to the point where it's prescribed to change it, you want to stay in front of it.
The wires showing through.
Yeah, the wires are showing through. I mean, that would happen from time to time. I mean, part of it was we just weren't paying attention to it as well as we should. But you want to know what the estimated drive time is between jobs. Zoning is a kind of a common technique where you might take zip codes that are all contiguous or on the same place and put them in different zones and do your scheduling in a way where you aren't having teams go between zones during a day. Oh, I'm such a oh my God.
Such a grown-up, Tom.
Every day. It's
I think he's been a grown-up since he hit what, maybe 4, 3?
Oh God. No, there was something happened along the way. I was kind of the anti-Tom for a long time.
I actually do remember some stories, Tom, now that I think about it, where I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
The stories I could tell you.
Yeah. That are like
the ones I can remember anyway. But there's none of those stories need to be told. But you get to anyway.
Leslie says she has a Google map with pins on it for each client. This helps us figure out where a client will go.
That's important.
Probably.
Yeah. And when your sales process fits into this as well. You want to have a sales process where you're being presumptive and you're guiding your new jobs to where you want them on the schedule to make you most efficient. Rather than asking them when do you want to be cleaned, you want to be suggesting, I've got an opening next Tuesday afternoon that would work really well for you. Can I go ahead and book you there? With the idea that we're cleaning their neighbor's house that day. Even going as far, if somebody wants a particular day and it doesn't fit your schedule because there's a lot of drive time, offering them a few bucks off if they take another day and another time, that allows you to put that job with something that's already scheduled. Because, giving them $5 is going to save you, if you got somebody that's going to have to look out of a windshield for a half hour and you've got two people in that car, you've lost at least a labor hour. If you're paying, fully loaded $20 an hour, giving them $5 off the job is going to get you like $15 to the good, right?
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I have a map too, Leslie, or I used to have a map too. And it's a pain to maintain, but definitely helpful, right? Knowing, I do love that about Made Central, the calendar that shows every single customer and every single day, who's on Monday, who's on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, where they're all at, so that you can see them all on one map and you can move them around. I know this isn't a Made Central call, but when you guys built that, Tom, I was in heaven. It was like one of my very favorite things ever. Oh, I love that so much.
I mean, let's be real. We try really hard. I try really hard not to make this a pitch fest for anything. And there's other softwares that do these things as well. But you really want to look for technology to help you with as much of this as you can, because part of it is, this is 2021 for God's sake, right? So if we're still doing this on paper and pencil and desk calendars, and I know few of us are, but you can really just change your life if you embrace technology to help you with some of this, and you get better outcomes. You're going to be more efficient. You're going to be more productive. You're going to have a lower cost.
And really, there is a cool functionality in Maps. So even if your scheduling program doesn't help you with this piece, there is a very cool functionality in Maps where you can put all of your jobs in, or at least get like your first job in, your last job in. And once you put your other jobs in, it'll help you figure out how long it's going to take, and it'll tell you. You got to move them around yourself and figure that part out, but it'll give you the information. Right. Because a lot of times what looks like the best route is not the best route. It might seem like it is, but for efficiency's sake, it's really not. Oh my gosh, right, Leslie? Are you talking about my map? It's so amazing. I know. Okay. Don't want to get
recurring revenue is, an important part to our business for a lot of reasons, but you want to be scheduling your recurring jobs in a way, especially your recurring jobs in a way that are efficient. There's some tools. There's a thing that we use called a master schedule. And again, that's a Made Central thing as well. I'm kind of torn. I could actually pull up a demo of Made Central and show some of this, or is that maybe for another day?
Actually, that might actually be helpful for schedule and production planning. And that's not just a Made Central thing. Almost everybody I know uses some version of that, Tom. So I think that would be helpful. I mean, Made Central just shows it in the scheduling program, but almost everybody does some version. I think there are a lot more tools in Made Central that are better than that one, but I know that that's the one that almost everybody uses. So which apps did you say? Made Central? Yeah, it's not an app. It is a scheduling program, Amelia. But yeah, it's called Made Central.
This is all test data, so I'm assuming this is set up correctly.
Just ignore everything, you guys, because everything looks so overwhelming if you're not familiar with a new software program. He's going to get us to the right thing here. Oh, you're going to show the map? help them out.
I'll open a few things here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Travis. Google My Maps is good. It really can help you figure out exactly how long it takes between stuff. Travis, what are you doing on here? What are you doing on this thing? You have too much free time, dude. I know you got better things to be doing right now.
So one of the things that you would want to do is just to go ahead and create zones where, you know, each one of these each color represents a different zone. So you just got, schedule based on colors. And, we've been doing this since the mid 90s. And when we first started doing this, we did this with magnet boards and the little 1 by 2 inch magnets, and each zone had a different color paper, and that was how we kind of matched them up. Actually, that's not completely true. We had weeklies with one color. We had every other week a different color, and monthlies a different color. And they were like little pressure sensitive stickers that had different colors that we would put on them to get the zones right. And then we had the allowed time written on them. And it was a very intricate thing.
I know, I've seen the boards. I have.
This is an example of how push pins can help. And each team just has their, their drive times. And if you keep the push pins together by team, like these green pins here are all this team, and these orange pins are all down here on this team. And just using some graphical representation where if you've got green pins all over the place, you might want to.
So we can see they're too close together right now, too bunchy. Thanks. Just pick one. I don't care. Yeah, it's here to see.
Here's a team here, and if you had the green pins all over the place next to other colored pins, you'd start moving the jobs around. So between changing jobs between teams to get all the colors together, and that's going to be reducing your drive time. If you want to use Google Maps, you can use that. And there's some softwares that will do that, where it'll actually calculate the distance and the drive time between jobs, and will even give you alternate ways of arranging the jobs between teams to get a
job. Not even alternate, Tom. It gives you the best.
Right.
So the yellow, I used to love this too. I used it every day. I would set up the teams the way I thought they should be set up, and then check them. And the yellow tells you the most efficient way. And I really love too that you see up there at the top where it says efficiency. It actually shows you the efficiency for this. I love that.
But these are just some of the tools that are out there, and just to be aware that you're saying, well, gee, how do I keep up with all of that? Well, there are tools that certainly help. This is really something that we call this a master schedule, and I understand that. Kathy Gage kind of figured this out with a spreadsheet a long time ago, and this is one of the more brilliant things that I've seen. For each team, we're able to show all 4 weeks across here, and I don't know if we can see that or not. I'm trying to work over that. Like, this is team number 1, and this is on a Monday. This is week 1 and 3 is together, and week 2 and 4 is together. And the reason that is if I'm an every other week customer, I'm either gonna, as a default, be cleaned on weeks 1 and 3 or weeks 2 and 4. So it makes it really easy by putting weeks 1 and 3 and 2 to 4 together in this view to see where are the holes that I can put, like an every other week customer or an every 4 week customer. And scheduling an every 4 week customer is a little bit easier because all you're looking for is a hole. But finding a cool place to put that every other week customer or that every week customer where you're going to have the same team on the same day at the same time for them is kind of tough. And this really makes it easier to do that. And you're looking for a color that matches the color associated with the home that you're looking to schedule, because that needs you in the same zone. Like, this is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday. And there are actually quoting tools. There's tools in this software that you can plug in an address and it'll show you actually this map over here. We'll do that. If, don't I have the ability to plug in an address here somewhere?
Yeah. And it'll show you where it's at.
Yeah.
And which houses it's closest to.
In relationship to the other ones that are scheduled.
Yeah.
Anyhow, these are some of the tools that are out there that will help with the whole efficiency thing. Nobody makes money looking out of a windshield, folks.
You know, it'd probably be helpful, Tom, if you could show, like, pull up Main Central again and show how what a difference it can make to put the homes in the right order, because that is just really important. And how
these are already kind of staged up that way, because this is kind of data.
Change them around. Yeah.
We don't have time to do that.
Okay.
We got some other things to cover. I mean, some other time if we wanted to, we could do a deep dive on some of this. But I mean, we get the point, right?
Trust me, guys, if you get your houses in the right order and the efficiency is good, you're just making a ton more money. And it's easy to see how even just putting one house in the wrong place can make a huge difference to your bottom line. So you really got to make sure that they're on the right day, but also in the right time slot, which is tricky. If you guys are like me and you have those customers that are like, don't come before 9 o'clock. You have to be out by 2 o'clock. Don't come between 1 and 3 because my baby takes a nap, right? All of those things. But it is important to do it anyway. Have somebody that's doing your scheduling that is that enjoys that part of the job. If your scheduling person doesn't enjoy the job, they're not going to do a good job, because they'll just be frustrated by it. They'll be frustrated by how it can't work and how all the customers are so demanding and, blah, 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 blah. I know you guys have all been there, but the right kind of person loves that. They see it as a puzzle and they think it's fun. It's like a game, trying to figure it out, how to make the best efficiency number and all that good stuff. All right. What you building here for us, Tom?
Let's pretend. I don't have time to build this out either. I was just going to show how, like having, on this example over here, we had, drive time. Let's do this.
Yeah. Anybody that's gone down that drive time efficiency route, Leslie, can attest to how much difference it makes in your profit. It's huge. I know, I think it's Chris Willett that does this exercise maybe twice a year. He just goes through and he just, what does he call it? Can't remember. I'll remember in a minute though. He just goes in and he optimizes the entire, all of his jobs. He optimizes the calendar basically and always pulls a ton of money out of it.
He does that with Maid Central.
Yeah. But I mean, I used to do it when I didn't have Main Central. It's a lot bigger job, of course, but it's something that needs to be done. You need to be optimizing your schedule because it does make a huge difference. Which again, remember, that's what we're talking about here, is how to reduce that direct labor to our revenue, right? All right.
So, like you can have efficiency of 75% if you're cleaning for 6 hours and have 2 more hours of non-productive clock time.
Mm-hmm.
But if something happens and say maybe you wind up like with some type of job that you're having to go way out of your way, and this number changes to 9 because you're having to drive like an extra hour, and your whole efficiency goes all the way down to like 67%.
Mhm.
And one way or another, you're paying for that drive time. You're either paying for that drive time in hard cash, or you're paying for it out of what your cleaning technicians are getting a diminution in pay in terms of their revenue per hour. And if that happens on a regular basis, nobody's going to want to work for you. Or the people that are going to be working for you aren't going to be the people that you would most prefer working for you.
Right.
So that's really hard. And that gets back into the whole thing of employee retention, and if you're going to have turnover, how many people are you going to be training? So the real cost of this is so much broader than this little scenario and saying, okay, well, fine, I'm having to pay, for an extra hour, but it's for an extra hour between two people. So it's really 2 labor hours. And if you're doing $15 an hour fully loaded, you're probably pushing 20. So that hard cost might be $40. But, people are getting home late, not able to get their kids, out of daycare, all of that. I mean, all of that kind of adds up too. Is there anything more that we want to say about efficiency?
I don't think there is. Anybody else have anything that they don't understand about efficiency, or how to anything about efficiency that you would like to talk more about? Drop us a comment. Otherwise, I think we can probably move on from that, Tom.
Because the other things that we have left here, like performance pay, expectations, and accountability, and that's kind of a rehash of the same things that we had under productivity. It's kind of the same deal. Incentive pay plan, be it any one of.
You took off split hourly, Tom. What were you going to do with that?
I'm gonna add that back. Actually, I'm gonna take and say just one thing about that.
Okay.
Split hourly is a pay plan that actually does help with efficiency. And what that is say maybe you pay $15 per hour when the team's actually on a job cleaning a house and actually checked into a job, and when they're between jobs, maybe you pay, I don't know, $9 an hour. So that creates an incentive to not spend a lot of time between jobs, right? So that split hourly is a way of making that happen.
Also, to get people that want to drive, because people don't want to be not driving because they're making less money.
Right.
So it's also encouraging people for that.
And commission and job ticket hour, all of that, even bonus, all of that will not only create an incentive for people to be more productive, getting their cleaning times up relative to the allowed time, but it also creates an incentive to use your time wisely between jobs, the efficiency.
See.
And you have to set the expectation in terms of, not only, this is what we're looking for from a productivity standpoint, but this is what we're looking for from a team efficiency standpoint. This is, according to Google, you've got about, an hour and 20 minutes of drive time today. So you should be able to clean all of these homes, meet the scope of work, meet our quality standards, and be back here at the office by 4:15. So you're setting the expectation, so they know if they aren't doing that, then
problem of some type.
Right.
And there's probably going to be some accountability, ideally.
Ideally, that would be the plan.
Yeah. All right. Nobody's want to hear anything more about efficiency, so I think we're good.
So I'm going to rewind back to this because we're still talking about loaded direct payroll to revenue. But if we want to get that down, we can do that by one of two ways. We can make the number on the top of this equation go down, loaded direct payroll. And that's what we've been talking about here over the last couple of weeks, I guess. It's all a blur at this point.
3.
But let's talk about the other thing that we can do. We can make the revenue go up. If we can make the revenue go up without affecting the loaded direct payroll, we're making the loaded direct payroll to revenue go down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I also just want to point out that if you are, just a reminder, and we have some new people on here too, that the reason why we're talking about this portion is because this is where you can make the biggest impact on profit. Remember, we're talking about profit. So the biggest impact and the fastest impact typically is to attack this number, the LDPR, right? This piece. So first thing to focus on is lowering that loaded direct payroll. And we gave you a lot of bullet points around that, a ton of different things that you can do to reduce that. And now we got a nice little green number that we're going to focus on. And now we're going to give you some things you can do to get this number up.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Because the truth be known, and we've all fallen into this hole where we're looking at the schedule and it's that constant balance of I've got jobs and I don't have people to clean them, or I've got cleaning professionals and I don't have enough jobs.
Yeah.
And you always have too much of something and not enough of something else. And you kind of get caught in that trap where how many technicians do I have? How many homes do I have? And is the schedule right today? Who's not coming to work today? Who's not? And our focus is just on cleaning homes. And I mean, that's rational, right? We got to clean homes, but we don't spend a lot of time worrying about, well, what is our cost associated with cleaning those homes, or how much revenue are we generating when we clean those homes? That's almost an afterthought, right?
Yep.
If it's a thought at all.
Yep.
That's not the crap that we lose sleep about, right?
Yeah.
It's like
what are people upset about?
You dread going to work. You dread, like, when the phone rings, you dread. It's like, God, it's going to be a mess. I just know it is, and I don't even know how I'm going to make it through the day. You ever have one of those days, Liz? I can remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? Yes.
And it wasn't because of my direct payroll is going to be too high, right?
No.
So, that's why we're talking about this, because if we can get this right, we're more profitable. And if we're more profitable, we can afford to fix the problem. Oh, Leslie.
Sorry,
right.
Leslie.
If we're more profitable, we at least have the raw material we need to start fixing those problems where it's not, when the alarm goes off, it's not a dreaded thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about rate increases. I think that we would all agree that it would be a pretty good practice to do like regular rate increases for our regular recurring clients.
Yep.
No, nobody would argue that point. Anybody doesn't agree with that, go ahead and chime in with the chat, as well as taking a look at what our.
Okay, hold on. I got to speak for the masses over here, Tom.
Right.
So I don't think that anybody would argue the logic of raising prices on a regular basis. I think that some people would say, yeah, but, and then they would have a lot of answers to that. Like, yeah, but not everybody's going to pay, and I need my customers. I can't afford to have anybody drop, so I'd rather not do price increases because I can't afford to lose customers. That's one. I think people would say, yeah, but during COVID, people are not going to pay us more. They're already strapped. They're already like tight on money. I think they would say, yeah, but I'm already like the highest paid company in the area. I can't raise my prices. So I think that while nobody would say, they would argue the point that we should raise our prices on a regular basis, I think there are a lot of objections to that. And I think there are a lot of arguments against it.
Okay. I would, nobody wants to lose a customer. I mean, at the end of the day, what are the reasons that we wouldn't raise our rates? One of it is I'm afraid I'm going to lose customers, right?
I think that's probably the first one.
I would say that's the second one. I would
What's
say the first one is it's a lot of work and I'm busy dealing with a lot of firefighting and I'll get to it tomorrow and tomorrow never comes.
I argue with that. Okay, guys, we need a vote here.
Well, yeah, I would like to hear that.
Yeah, we want to know.
A lot of people don't do it because they hate doing it.
Okay, if you think that Tom is right, that more people don't do price increases because they hate doing it, that's number one. I mean, that's Tom, say Tom. And if you think I'm right, that people don't do it because they think they can't afford to do it, people are going to drop, they're going to lose customers, then type Liz in the comment box. All right. And then while you guys are doing that, I'm counting on you guys. Leslie, Travis, Amelia, Denise. I can't remember who else was up there. Bridget, I know, is up there somewhere. Thanks, Bridget. No, I'm gonna win because every time Tom and I do one of these, I win every time.
What? You mean like the
Yes, I'm always right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's see. What does Robin say while they're voting over here? What are our thoughts?
Well, I was talking about using minimum wage as a way of rationalizing with your clients why it's necessary.
Tom, I just want you to look over here.
Yeah, I see.
One more. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't listen. Why people?
Tom doesn't know what he's talking about.
Because it is hard to do. You're right about that, Tom. But really, the part of what makes it so hard is, it's scary too, on top of everything else. And you might lose out on you might lose customers. And then you're going to do all that work and you're going to lose customers. And yeah, I'm too sorry, Tom.
That's okay. I'm good. I'll get over it.
Yeah, it's all right. We both know I love to throw them out there, y'all, because Tom is he's unique individual. And he thinks other people are going to be like him, and they're just not.
Okay.
Not.
So let's say.
I love that we're going to talk about the high minimum wage. This is such a big thing right now. Just if we could throw in there too, Tom, about the new, I don't know if we can do it today. We probably don't have time, but I would like to talk about how a lot of the areas are just now getting the mandatory sick pay. I know a lot of parts of the country have had it for a few years, but some parts are just getting it, and it's really stressful. When we are full, I raise prices with confidence. When we have holes in the schedule, I tend to put it off. It's just scary. Nobody wants to lose revenue. I know. Okay. No, I think the only time that changes is when your company is large enough that, if you lose some clients, it's not as big of a deal, and or you're not directly involved in that part of the business. If you're not directly in it, makes it a lot easier to just have other people do it. All right, what have we got going on here, Tom? I'm intrigued.
Okay. So pretend your average bill rate per job is $150, and this is for like recurring clients, and your average recurring client gets cleaned 2 times per month, and you've got 100 recurring clients. That's $30,000 a month.
Okay.
Does that seem right? That seems about right.
Can you turn that into dollars for me, Tom? I have a hard time seeing all those zeros. It's so little. Oh, thank you.
And this would be $1 here. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Bang, 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 bang.
Oh, that's very nice. Perfect. Thank you.
So say if I want to do a rate increase, and do we probably a good thing here to talk about the difference between a rate increase and a rate adjustment. We're talking rate increases. Liz, explain what the difference is.
All right. If I do that right now, then we're probably not going to talk about anything else.
Okay.
We'll run out of time. So maybe I talk about that tomorrow?
Monday. Short story. Rate increase is what you do on a, for most of us, an annual basis. Is kind of a cost of living thing. So you might be talking 3%, 5%, something like that. Nothing crazy. If you screw up a quote and you have to double somebody's, rate, that's not a rate increase. That's a rate adjustment. That's a whole nother discussion. But
or get new flooring, that kind of stuff.
Say you want to do across the board increase of 5%. So if you did that, your new monthly revenue would be this number here times 1 plus this. What did I do? All right, I'm losing my mind. Okay, I give up.
That's a bummer, man.
Don't ever do a rate increase. Don't ever do a rate increase because you'll have no revenue. Okay.
There we go.
But let's pretend that you're going to have some amount of attrition. If maybe you lose 5% of your customers, right? Do you think you'd lose 5% of your customers if you raise them all across the board? I don't know. Let's look at it another way. The delta of the increase is this number minus this number. And if I take this by the number you can lose to break even, that would be this number divided by your old bill rate of this. That would be 10. So all things being equal, would you rather clean 100 home or,
it's not $10, y'all. It's 10.
It's just
10 clients. Yeah, it's 10 clients.
All things being equal, would you rather have 100 clients and get $30,000 or 90 clients and get $30,000?
So I'm going to say that most people know that logically it makes more sense to have 90 clients and make that amount of money. But then there's always this other argument. I'd really rather have more clients because, I want to be able to keep my people busy. I think that a lot of times what happens with entrepreneurs is there's always this thing going back and forth. So, no, but I need to be able to keep my people busy. I can't afford to lose 10 clients. Yeah, 90 is the logical answer, right? We all know it's less expense. We're gonna get more money.
There's a hidden cost associated with a client. That's more stuff that you can break. That's more stuff that something can happen, that somebody's going to sue somebody. That's more potential for just all the bad things that can happen. And they don't happen a lot, but when they happen, it just really sucks. The same amount of revenue with the fewer number of clients. It's just fewer invoices, less scheduling headaches, less overhead in the office. I could go on and on and on and on. You're going to be more profitable making $30,000 a month or generating revenue of $30,000 a month with 90 clients than what you would be with 100 clients. You're going to be more profitable with the 90.
Right. Yep. Amelia, you're right. You can replace the 10 with your new higher rate, right? So now you're making even more money. Now you're not really making just 30 grand. Now you're making more. Right?
So the point of this is, and then we're going to have to go, is you're not going to lose 10 customers out of 100. You won't. You're going to lose a couple. And there's a lot of techniques that go into the whole discussion. We're going to pick that up on Monday, and we're going to show you graphs in terms of how basically you're going to go broke over time if you don't do this, and how much more money you could be making.
We got to go, but we're going to show you how not to lose any, or so few that you can't even believe it.
It's free money, basically, and you're going to want to do this. You're going to be excited about doing it. You're not going to dread it. You're going to be excited about it, and you know that you might lose a couple, and you're still going to be more profitable. Have an awesome weekend. We will see you Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.